Hello and welcome to the Freelancers Tea Break, the short and sweet podcast you can enjoy whilst you're making a cuppa. I'm your host, Emma Glossy, and this is the podcast for anyone who is already freelance or is thinking about going freelance. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Freelancers Tea Break. This week I'm going to talk to you about the realities of freelancing right now. It's come up a little bit in group calls recently in my Freelance Business Lounge membership, and one of the things that I think is really beautiful about those membership calls is that everybody is really honest and vulnerable. No one's there pretending to be this glossy, perfect version of a freelance business. Everybody's really honest about all the challenges that come with it. And quite often when people first join, they come away and they say things like, oh, it was so nice to spend time with people who get it and they're not pretending it's anything it's not. It's just people running businesses and dealing with all of the different things happening right now. And I think one of the things that came up on the call recently was how what we see on social media is this beautiful, glossy, six-figure thing. And if you're a long-term listener, you know I have no time for the whole six-figure pressure. But when we go on social media, all we're seeing is people's highlight reel. We're only seeing their best moments. They're landing with clients, they're purchasing, or they're going off on amazing holidays with all their money that they're earning. And we're not seeing all the struggles behind the scenes. Some people are great at sharing some of those things, but I think a lot of people are only seeing this perfect version of freelancing and thinking, oh, no one else is having a difficult month. No one else is having a difficult quarter. Or actually, in reality, no one else has had a difficult 2 years. And I've definitely seen my income drop in the last 2 years. A lot of big freelance business business owners in general, especially those in the online space, have seen a big drop in the last 2 years. That is normal. Like, that is the new normal, that we're not earning what we were 2 or 3 years ago. It's partly because I suppose in the online world, courses aren't selling as well as they used to because of AI. But for freelancers, AI means that also lots of people are not getting the jobs that they were, especially ones like perhaps graphic design or copywriters are seeing a really big impact, which, having seen some of the posters going around for different events locally, graphic designers should be more in demand than ever because those posters are woeful. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges at the moment. And if you're only seeing other people being successful in freelancing, I don't want to sit here and go, no, everybody else is really, really struggling as well. But I want to tell you that people are struggling. Some people are finding other ways of doing things, but that actually it's quite normal as a freelancer to have some months that are great, some months that are not, some years that are not great. And yeah, I don't want you to feel alone in feeling like it's difficult right now, because it is. It's not, realistically, it's not as easy as it was 10, 15 years ago. But we pivot, we try different things. But there's a few things I wanted to share. So first of all, after you've been going for a couple of years, you start to see patterns in the year. If you haven't looked back at your income over the last couple of years, I highly recommend you take sort of 10, 15 minutes to go do that now. Even if it's just going on your business bank and looking at the monthly, like most business banks. I know Monzo has it where I can see monthly what people have, what I've earned and things like that. Go have a look and see which months are stronger, which months are weaker, because that will help you identify how to sort of react. So for example, I find January and September do really well. I think it's that fresh new year feeling and that fresh new school year feeling that I have a lot more people coming to me for coaching during those times. Summer holidays for me, not very busy. Actually, that's quite good because I like to take most of August off. But in preparation for that, I tend to offer special offers or in June, July. And in the past, I've also done annual membership offers for my membership just before the summer holidays. And the great thing about that is now that amount, if they continue with the membership, and most of them do, it's got quite a low turnover rate. That means that every month, every sort of June, July, I get those extra payments come in just before the summer holidays. So it really helps boost that time. So that's just something to think about if you're thinking about when you do most of your marketing or promotions, to think about that kind of thing. Also, If what you've always been doing is no longer working, that's not necessarily because you're doing a bad job. That's more likely doing because things are not working like they used to, or things have changed. AI has obviously, like I said, had an impact, but it can't replace us completely. Sometimes we need to pivot, we need to change how we deliver things. And there are things that we can adjust, but it is definitely harder. And I also wanted to sort of talk about, I think, well, there was one thing I want to touch on is that just because someone says they're earning six figures does not mean they're earning six figures. They might have a turnover of six figures. They might be earning close to six figures on ads or a team or very affiliate income, outgoings and things like that. So don't take it as Bible that if they're saying they're bringing in six figures, that's not what they're keeping. So that's just something to remember. But yes, going back, I just wanted to say that it's really normal to not have a consistent income every month. It's normal to have one big month, three quiet months, or a big month, a quiet month, a big month, a quiet month. It's really normal to be up and down with that. It really helps to have some kind of consistency. So like my membership does give me a bit, it's not a huge part of my income, but it does give me that kind of consistent income through that. And I have a few of my coaching clients on retainer. So at least I know kind of a month ahead that that's always coming in. So that really, really helps. So if you can get people on retainers, that will make it much easier for you to sort of base your income on that side of things. So anything reoccurring is really helpful. Even little things like I don't earn a huge amount from the book, but those, the trickle of sales that comes in is all really, really helpful. And sort of, even if it just covers the cost of Notion or Descript for me, then that's really good for that. So that's obviously something. And also, I should mention saving. It's boring. Not every month you're going to be able to do it. If you're like me, who is terrible at remembering to manually save, I have a lot of automation set up for mine. So when money comes into my business account, already 30% goes into my HMRC bucket in Monzo. So I don't see that money. It just goes straight into the bucket. I have another bucket actually for like holiday sick pay. I can't remember how much goes into that. It's either 10 or 15%. But in my personal account, I have a little amount of money that goes out each week that goes into my Christmas saving box. So I barely notice it. It's not even a huge amount each month. I think it's like, I don't know, £5 or £10 a week. So it's not a hugely noticeable thing, but it stacks up. So that works better for me than having to remember, I need to go put this amount of savings. Also, if you haven't done your pension, please make sure you go sort your pension. I use Penfold, but there is Pension B as well. And you can use the app to add in extra if you want to, or see what it's going to look like in the future. So there's a few things on that. And the final thing to remember is when you're having a good month, don't give up on putting yourself out there to find or attract new clients. There are lots of low energy ways you can do that. You can, reshare a podcast you've been on, or update your LinkedIn. You can repurpose old content if you need to, or just make sure you still get that newsletter out there. Try and pop up in the Facebook groups if you do your promotions through there, that once a month. So it doesn't have to be massive things, but keep it going, because it's really easy to get lost in the excitement of having a big month and then forget to pitch for the next month or the month after. So it's worth thinking about that. And you can always, a lot of people are worried about doing that in case they have too much work coming in, but you can have a waiting list and you can say, yeah, I'll be able to work on that the month after next. Not everybody expects you to work straight away. So that is worth thinking about. So to finish up, I did mention about my business lounge at the start of this. This wasn't actually a episode. The main purpose of this episode is basically to say to you, if you feel like you're alone in struggling or anything like that, you're not. I promise you're not. I am definitely down on my income from 2 years ago. It's definitely proving a lot more difficult, but I'm finding experimenting with different things, different methods, So you are absolutely not alone in that. But if you do feel like you would benefit from some support, I have my membership, the Freelance Business Lounge, which is only £30 a month. It is 2 weekly calls a week that you're welcome to hop onto. They're group calls, 1:30 on Mondays and Thursdays. And we all get together and share what we've been up to, but we might also bounce around an idea. We might say, I'm really struggling with this. Can anyone help? It's really friendly. Everyone's really vulnerable and honest and really supportive as a result. But we also have accountability on Tuesdays at 10, which is an hour where you can just jump on and get stuff done. And I also offer Voxer support on Tuesdays, along with everything else I offer in terms of courses and trainings. That's all in their lovely bundle on Podia for you as well. So if you're interested in that, do just drop me a message, or the link will be in the show notes. So I hope that was useful. I hope that was reassuring to know that you're not alone if you are struggling. If you're not struggling, fantastic. How can you support other freelancers? Have a think about that. And I hope you have a lovely freelance week.